Hey, yo.
Back hero.
Yo, check it. This my special attack, 100 swords, 100 episodes, and here's to 100 more. Who got next? Place your change on the cabinet. Air Combo University graduates juggle my enemies before tagging in the Masters hero. Pros in action, toe tagging champions getting active. The message will always get near you. Return to the dream team, Spider-Man and Strider hear you. When the mask is on, I can't promise Cyclops to keep his glasses on. The handshake was potent. The inner glow shown as a mega optic blast, trailing behind the Shinku Hadouken. How you gon' dodge both of them? Blast you down to the last atom. Best regards from the proton cannon you couldn't fathom. If you were raised on gaming and put a controller up, I'm old enough to study the meta before I bless you. We understood space in the dash clean. Now we need the Justin Wong poster right next to the pro athletes. Final justice like a primary lotus from out the sky. Stars and stripes reminding you racism is still alive. Bring a plasma sword to a gunfight. Hayato, bring a hurricane kick. Tatsumaki Senpaku. One time for all my otakus who played the console till their eyes closing. Probably forgot to study for their finals. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash.
Recording.
Oh, we're on. We're on.
On the mic.
On the mic.
Microphone.
Yo, we're back. Episode 102. It's been a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Health and safety protocols, holidays. But everybody's good. We're back in here.
Yep. All good.
Episode 102. We should have brought you this, guys, long time ago, but we couldn't. So, picking up where we left off, ending 2021.
Right.
What are you into currently, my friend?
I've been watching a lot of basketball, obviously. Pistons are still trash, but my young guys are playing well. Man, Killian Hayes got a couple of slam dunks the other night, and
Pulled you back in.
bro, I sent off the Godfather text when I was, because I've been talking a lot about, like, man, I really like Killian, but I don't know if he's got it. Like, when he plays, like, there are certain aspects of the game that are just way too difficult. They just seem like it's so much harder for him than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And it just kind of worried me, like, oh, man, I don't know, dog. I don't know if he's ready. And my fear was that, like, sure, he's got plenty enough upside to be a player somewhere, but is it going to be for us? Mm-hmm. And it was looking like maybe not. But then he does, every now and then, he took somebody baseline and slam dunked on him. And then he caught a fast break the other night and dunked on somebody else. And I was
pulled you back in.
Just when I thought I was out, he pulled me back in.
Hey,
goddamn
man.
Godfather. Shit. So now I'm back on the Killian Hayes bus.
Right. So I mean, I talk to you. Me and you talk about Killian all the time. And I just think that I don't really think that his ceiling is like a guy that's gonna go out and score 20 points.
No, yeah, that's
but
clear.
I do think his ceiling is a stat sheet stuffer.
Yeah.
Go out, get you 8 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals. Like that's perfectly fine. But what I would like to see Killian do is have more of a presence on the court, because there are times where he goes like long spurts, like
right,
literally like 10 straight possessions of just kind of it being on the court.
Yep.
And he can't do that. You know what I mean? Like he's got to, because like the player that I like to compare him to is like, look at Josh Giddy, right? Mm-hmm. Josh Giddy is another, he's taller though. He's like 6'8".
Yeah, he's like 6'8", 6'9".
Josh Giddy is another tall guard, but he's a player, again, who's not a big scorer, but just leaves his imprints all over the game. And he's a stat sheet stuffer, and he's a player that I look kind of compare Killian to. Killian's not as big, but he's still 6'5" point guard.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he needs to do. He just needs to really, and you know, some of that also comes with him like making him being a literal timeshare with Corey Joseph.
You got to take the ball out of Corey Joseph's hands, bro. And
like,
and unfortunately, well, I don't. Fortunate for me, I don't like Corey Joseph, but like the problem is that Corey Joseph is only decent when he has the ball in his hands. So the solution is get Corey Joseph the fuck off the ball club. that's how you do that. Because if you have him out, like with Cade and Killian out there together, they got a lot of good chemistry. They can, because Cade has a skill set where he can play off the ball and be like a go-to scorer.
Yeah. But he also, and this is another thing, because when you don't put Cade in that position and you kind of, you know what I mean, and you put him in the position where he's got the ball all the time, he's an unselfish player, so he automatically defers to being a facilitator.
I hate that, bro.
You know what I mean, though?
I mean,
so
absolutely.
It's like Killian, go get the ball, be the facilitator, and make Cade be the scorer.
Let's get Cade to cook a little bit.
And I think that when that happens and Cade is dominating the ball and he is being the facilitator, Killian's just kind of like, all right, cool. I'm just kind of getting paid to.
Yep. I'm gonna play some defense.
Run some sprints and.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm like some of my excitement about Killian Hayes is coming back a little bit, but I think my expectations have been adjusted a lot. Like I think that, like you said, I think in his prime he'll be a guy that'll get you. He'll average, if everything goes according to plan and he stays with Detroit, he'll be a guy in his prime that averages 12 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. Which is that's a super solid NBA starting guard.
Like I said, bro, he doesn't have to score 20 points a game. I think him being that stat sheet stuffing player is it's fine.
You know who he's gonna be? He's gonna be a Drew Holiday type without the scoring.
100%. Like that's fine. You know what I mean? That's okay.
Won a championship,
bro. You don't have to score. Go out there and give me 8 points, give me 10 assists, give me 7 rebounds, 3 steals a game. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yep.
But he just has to have more of a presence on the court. You know what I mean?
But the fact that he got those dunks, though, to me, that was like it's more than just hey, sweet dunk. But it was like aggressive.
It's aggression. Right? It's
like assertiveness.
Something that we need to see out of him, because you said it before. Like sometimes he straight up looks just not confident at all to do anything. My favorite play he made recently was when he split the double team.
Oh my God! And hit that like kind of. And he got fouled too.
Yeah, he got
that
fouled,
like
floating
layup.
No respect.
Of course not.
Young player.
No, and he's always every time he goes to the basket, he gets knocked on his ass, and I get worried that he's hurt again. Call a fucking foul for that young man. Nope. Jesus Christ.
Young. What are you talking about? Young.
Right.
No calls.
Bad team, so no respect.
Young Pistons.
The other thing that I'm interested in, and we both seen this on the Facebook group, there was this thread where they said ruin a superhero by changing one letter of their name. And we had some funny ones.
So
nigga.
funny.
Table. from cable to table. Then you had Titty Pride. That was one of my favorites. What do we say? Omega Fred.
Oh, that's to me that's the funniest one. Omega Fred. Omega Red, for everybody who doesn't know. Omega Fred just sounds like, I said on there, it just sounds like a mutant with a super regular power. Like, I can heat up coffee cup that's in my hand, and that's it.
Right.
Like, I can't heat up yours, but I can heat up mine. And
also, I excel at TPS reports. and Omega Fred, his best friend is Scarlet Mitch. Hey, Fred. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, bud?
Mitch.
Hey, Mitch, how the wife and kids?
Mitch can can stack papers really fast.
Right. Yeah. And he types like 200 words per minute, bro.
Superhuman type speed, and that's it.
Scarlet Mitch and Omega Fred.
Couple of office superheroes.
What you been into, bro?
Oh man, I've been into a lot of things, but I guess the thing that I want to talk about is I've been into Neon Genesis Evangelion, man. Like I tripped and fell when I was sick. I fell down the Evangelion rabbit hole, which is a massive abyss. Rabbit hole. So shout out to the homie Steamboy, Malfred in the Discord. I've been talking to him a lot about it because I don't really know. I don't really know a lot of people that are familiar with the show. I've actually seen. This is my third time watching the show. I watched the anime in high school, and then I watched it again in college. But I still. This is one of the most mental shows that you'll ever see. So I didn't really understand it. Even when I saw it in college, I still couldn't like really put together what the heck was going on.
For sure.
So then I watched it again for the first time in like real adulthood. I watched it a few weeks ago. And I got it now, right? And I loved it, and it's one of my favorite anime of all time. And so me watching it, right, and then I see there's a movie, right, which I never saw the movie. I never saw the movie. So basically, what happened is with Evangelion, the creator, I can't think of his name right now, so I feel like an idiot, but. The whole thing was like when the show came out in the 90s. I think it came out like 96 or 97. And the fans everybody hated the ending, the way he ended it. Basically, it's even hard to explain the show. But,
well, don't explain it because I still haven't finished it.
Oh, okay. So you're watching it, so that's what's up. So basically, people didn't like the ending. When you finish it, I want to really talk about it on here.
Bet.
But people didn't like the ending, so the creator made a movie, right? He made a movie called The End of Evangelion, where basically he gave people a more satisfying ending, right? And that's what the movie is. The movie is basically just a different ending to the show. And then people didn't like that ending.
Yeah.
So then I'm talking to the homie Malfred, and we're talking about this, and he's like, how'd you like the movie? I'm like, oh, I liked it. It made me kind of, I think I liked the anime more, but I still like the film, and I think but it did change my opinions of Shinji, the protagonist. Yeah, I liked him in the show. I couldn't stand him in the movie. And then he's like, oh, okay, well now you got to watch the Rebuild of Evangelion. And I'm like,
what the fuck's that?
Okay, what is that? Is that a movie? Nope. Oh, it's more. Is it 2 movies? Nope. Oh, okay. Is it 3 movies? Nope.
Not gonna be able to do it.
Is it 4 movies? 4 movies.
Jesus Christ.
There's 4 more movies called The Rebuild of Evangelion, where they basically retell the anime. It's just a retelling of the anime. Amazing animation. Like,
word.
It's like the anime, but like
with like movie quality animation.
Movie quality anime. These aren't that old. Like, these came out in modern.
Oh, word.
Yeah. The newest one came out like last year. You know what I'm saying? The last one. So it's just a retelling of the anime. They add some new characters. They change things up. The animation is incredible. And they give us, in the 4th movie, they give us, it's called Thrice Upon a Time, because this is the 3rd time that he's trying to come up with a satisfying ending for the show.
Thrice upon a time.
So, and then, it's just, and then we get another ending. So, which is good. I think that I've done some research on the internet, and I think that it seems to me like this final one is the one that people like the most, the ending.
Okay.
I actually didn't mind the ending in the show. I liked the ending of the End of Evangelion, and I liked the ending of these movies, kind of, but not more than the show. The show was the one that everybody hated the most, but I actually liked it more than the other ones. So, but yeah, man, I fell down the Evangelion rabbit hole, and I love it, man. It's definitely one of my favorite anime of all time. Not top 5, because I don't think my top 5 is ever gonna be cracked, but it's definitely top 8 for sure. It's incredible.
Well, that's what's up, man. I also tried to watch it back in the day and was not in a place where I could comprehend it for sure.
Yep, same thing that happened to me.
And I never got back around to rewatching it. I actually did start watching it again last year, but I fell off somehow. But I'm gonna, now that you are into it, I'm gonna give it another shot, and we'll go ahead and really break it down. Because it sounds like it's, I mean, if we're talking sweaty and like cerebral.
It's massive, sweaty, cerebral, mentally, a lot of mental health, a lot of very, very psychological. It's good, man. It's really good.
No, I'm here for it. I'm super here for it. And also, you know, I think I'm here for shonen animes, obviously. Like, even though I talk a lot of shit about shonen animes, they're probably, if not my favorite genre, certainly like the foundation of my love for anime. But I think mainstream anime is so dominated by shonen that we forget that one of the dopest genres of anime since like the 60s has always been mech anime.
Oh yeah. And you know, like, a lot of people don't like mech anime, but I have to say I'm kind of like, I never knew that I liked it, right? But then I look at some of the anime that I really like, and like I like some mech stuff, like obviously Evangelion, G Gundam. I love G Gundam, Gundam Wing, Gurren Lagann, Code Geass is good. Like, there's a lot of I think, and I just think that it's because I think when you watch it, you're kind of expecting it to be like this action fest. And just like, but a lot of mech anime are like mad,
like political thrillers.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, but bro, now that I'm thinking back on it, dog, the 80s and 90s was like a golden era for anime. Headlined both, I think, so headlined by mecha anime. And I actually think that what shonen is now was probably what mecha was back in like the 70s and 80s and 90s.
Yeah, man, because like the 80s and 90s, there was just so many. Like,
bro, you had Pat Labor, you had Gundam, you had Appleseed, you had Robotech, bro.
Yeah, Robotech.
You had what else?
Bro, Bubblegum Crisis.
Bubblegum Crisis, dog.
Like a mega anime.
It's like cyberpunky.
Yeah.
It's all kind of shit, dog. Like that, and oh man, and then there's that, like the ultra. Remember, I don't know if you ever seen, what is it called? It's like MD Geist. You ever heard of that?
I don't. That sounds familiar. I don't think I've ever seen it.
It's like hardcore, like 90s, like death, fucking ultra violence anime, bro. Like, it's wild. It's kind of, I don't know if I would say I like it, but there's something to it that's like a train wreck where you can't look away, kind of shit.
I saw this one anime movie. Oh man, so many years ago, and it was I saw this anime movie a long time ago, bro, and it was called, what was the name of it? It was so violent, man, and like it was messed. I think it was called Wicked City, maybe.
Oh,
you ever heard of it?
Yeah, Wicked City.
Super violent, super dark.
Bro, listen, bro, we can talk about 90s ultra violence. You got Angel Cop.
Oh,
bro,
okay. I remember Angel Cop.
Angel Cop has the fucking best ending theme of all time. I will probably be saying that's one of those other samples that I've been sitting on for like 20 years.
Are you afraid?
A little bit. It's so fucking good. I'm a little afraid of it. Then you got what's that other one? Nigga, Violence Jack, bro. It's
Violence Jack
or Violence J, I think.
That sounds horrible.
It's just the name of the shows, nigga. Violence Jack.
Violence, death.
It's all kind of shout out to 90s ultra violence.
Yeah, man. Some of the best stuff. Crazy. But like, I'm addicted to like that animation style, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's dope.
And like they don't do it anymore. Everything is like super. Everything is like mad digital now and everything. But like, bro, that old like hand drawn, like the way Akira looks, the way some of those older 90s
Ghost in the Shell,
like it's just. That style of animation is so captivating. Like I can't get enough of that. Like those are the kinds of shows that in movies that I just like. I love.
Okay, so peep this. How about this for a trade-off? I love that type of animation too, but the one thing that I like about modern animation a little bit better is the character models. I think the character models nowadays look better, but like the world and environments and like the effects and like the way that they use lines and like explosions, way better in the 90s, bro. Like, way better.
Like, look at the food in like a Studio Ghibli movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just incredible, man. That's always gonna be one of my favorite styles. But real quick, man, let's start recapping some of the things that we enjoyed in the year last year, in the year 2021. What were some of your favorite games that came out in 2021 last year?
So I was looking that up because I wanted to make sure I had them all in the right year. So games that came out in 2022, there's 4.
2021.
Sorry, there's 4 that I know. So I was gonna cheat and put Ghost of Tsushima again because we finally beat the raid in 2021.
Yeah, but I mean technically the expansion.
Oh, the expansion. Okay, yeah, no. All right, fuck it. So definitely that's on the list. There. The fucking Iki Island,
like not just the raid, but
it was a whole
Iki Island was fire.
Yeah, it was dope.
Great.
Really so all right, bro. Ghost Runner, dog. Ghost Runner.
Oh, you told me about that,
bro. That's the hardest game I ever played. Period. Period. Period.
No.
Just flat out hardest game I ever played. Point blank. Period. And no, bro. The game moves 1,000,000 miles an hour. 1-hit kills. Fucking
for yourself too.
Yes, for you 1-hit kills.
Not good.
You know what I'm saying?
Not gonna be able to do it.
First person platform. First person sword work.
Oh man.
It looks sweet as hell, but it's like the platforming, double jump, fucking dash and sliding, and
I remember
all kind of
you
nonsense.
sent me the trailer for it, and I'm just not a first person guy. That's the only reason I didn't play it.
But, it was sweet, but it was that shit was hard. And it's one of those games that knows it's hard, so like the reloads are like it takes you like a split second for you to reload. So like you'll literally die, like no bullshit. If you've played this game, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's not uncommon to die 200 times in one level. It's not uncommon. It even keeps track of how many times you've died, like because that's
such a slap in the face.
Oh no, you're a fucking asshole. You suck. Here's how many times you bust your shit. You idiot.
Learn how to play.
Right?
Jerk.
No, you suck. You should never play this game again.
Noob, idiot.
It was fun. I mean, I don't know if it was fun, but I feel accomplished that I beat it, and I immediately deleted the shit off my system.
Oh man.
Then I got the
traumatizing.
I got the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Heard that was good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It was all right. You know what I mean? It was all right. Story was good. I mean, I would say the story was probably better than the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Oh, word.
It was about as good as the first. Maybe not quite, but it was good. I liked. The only thing that was kind of annoying is that Star-Lord's character, his voice actor sounded exactly like Chris Jericho, like exactly, bro. I even looked him up and I learned
you thought it was Chris Jericho?
Well, I didn't think it was Chris Jericho, but I knew I was like, bro, this dude has to be from like Canada somewhere.
Oh, was he from Winnipeg?
He was from like Alberta or something like that, which is like, all right, that makes sense. So I liked that Star-Lord better than I did Chris, what's his name? Chris
Pratt.
Chris Pratt. I mean, he was all right. I liked him in the first one, the second one, and obviously in Endgame he sucked. Or Infinity War, he was really annoying.
He was. And he's the whole reason for everything that happened.
Nope, it was his fault.
Yep.
I liked Rocket better in this game. He was fucking hilarious, dog.
Really?
He was funny as fuck. Rocket and Drax were both hilarious in this game.
So what Drax was it? Was it like silly Drax from the movie, or was it like murder Drax from the comic book?
Both.
Oh,
it did a good job of doing both. I mean, the personality of Drax was still the funny Drax, but he was a motherfucker. Like he was super, super lethal.
What what were their like character models like?
I
haven't seen it. You know, like the comic books, like kind of the early 2000 Guardians where they wore like the blue stuff.
No, okay. So what they did is
Star-Lord had like the helmet, like
right,
the mask, but like the
right. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you know how these games are. You can unlock a bunch of different costumes. And so they do have that original costume for everybody with like the helmets and everything, and like the with the star on it.
Yeah.
So they got that, but his original costume. It's kind of, I didn't like Drax's original design. It looked like a poor man. It looked like, hey, here's the movie, and we don't have the licensing for it, so we're gonna fucking draw like a mustache on him and fucking do the whatever. So it was some of that, but I unlocked his Guardian, like the official Guardians of the Galaxy skin, and I just used that for the whole game.
Right.
I didn't like Gamora as much in there because she was very much a white woman as opposed to, even with the way Zoe Saldana played her, you could tell that she was still, she was familiar kind of, and I don't know, whatever. Anyways, it was pretty good. The game was fine. I didn't like the game. The combat was a little weird. I would rather, there were some air combos, but it was like team air combos. And I kind of wanted to just like,
you kind of just wanted to scrap.
Yes, let me fucking
Is
fight.
Is there any like unlockable characters like Quasar or Adam Warlock or anybody like that?
Adam Warlock is in the game. There are a lot. It's a lot of like sweaty marble.
Lore in there.
Yeah, a lot of that. But the characters are just the 5 from the game.
Word.
And you only play, and this actually worked out well. You only play a Star-Lord, but you like can use your teammates as like assists, kind of helpers. It's very similar to like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, sort of, where you can like press the button for the assist, kind of. But they're all like fighting at each other. They're all fighting in the world all at the same time, but you can call upon them to like help and like do super moves together. It's dope. It was an interesting decision, and I think it worked out pretty well. Anyways, Ratchet and Clank for PS5.
I heard, you said that was a banger.
It's good. It's real. I have not played a lot of Ratchet and Clank, and I'm not the hugest like platformer game.
You know what? I played my first Ratchet and Clank game on PSP. And by the way, PSP was sweet. Why didn't it like do better?
I don't know. It was sweet.
It was like having a actual PS like 3 in your hands.
I'm not sure why. I don't know. Because now that you mention it, not that many people that I knew had it.
Nobody. I didn't know anybody with it, and the graphics were amazing. Yeah. Like, and I guess you see how successful the Switch is, and I feel like there's been so many attempts at something like that, and they just don't do well. Because PSP was definitely like something like that.
It was very similar. I don't know. I can't explain that because I always thought I always wanted one. Never got one though.
Yeah.
And also my homie LO5, he and his partner worked on that game, or not him, but his partner did.
Oh, that's right. You told me.
She's like one of the few black lead game designers in all of AAA gaming, which is fucking awesome. So shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? And then my number one favorite game aside from Ghost of Tsushima, Iki Island, would definitely be Deathloop, bro.
Yep, I heard you and you guys were talking about that.
That game was so black, dog. It was just so black, bro. And like not in a corny, heavy-handed way. It was just like super interesting concept, bro. Like you got like you're stuck on this island and you live the same 24 hours over and over again, and the only way you can break the cycle is if you kill all of the like bosses. And in order to do that, you have to like study their routines and like figure out where they're gonna. And you only get to go to 4 different parts of the island at different times of day: morning, afternoon, and night.
Oh.
And like the different people will be different places at different times of the day. So like you got to figure out. Eventually, you get to the end, and you got to figure out, all right, how I'm gonna kill all these niggas in one like morning, noon, night, and go to all the places that I need to go to, and do it all like in one straight line. And it's super creative and
Sounds
a lot of sweaty. It's first person shooter, but you got some really so you get like I would be here all day explaining the nonsense that happens, but you get powers, whatever. You just take my word for it. You got them. And one of the powers is called I forgot what it's called, but what it does is I think it's called Proxima, and it like links everybody together. So like if you hit somebody, there's like an explosion of energy, and anyone who was caught in the wave gets linked together. So what happens to one happens to all of them.
Oh, that's dope.
Bro. So you can like link everybody all together,
and just take out
and just like get one person with a headshot, they all go down.
That's fine,
bro. I got a video of me like killing one of the bosses that way. It's so satisfying, bro. So good. And then the other gameplay loop. So the only other person who knows that you're in the loop is this woman, Juliana, who is so like you're having like a radio conversation with her like the entire game, and it's like banter back and forth. They got like a relate. I mean, you have to play it to understand. But like her whole, like every now and then she'll just drop in and her whole goal is to just like fuck you up. Like, all right, I'm bored. I'm about to just drop in and kill you, you motherfucker. And like, oh, and by the way, every time you die, you start to loop over. That's like the gimmick. It's fire. It's super, super fire.
Sounds difficult.
So that was probably my favorite game outside of Iki Island.
Boom. Deathloop. Yeah, there were some good games in 2021, man. And I think obviously I've been playing. I played a lot of. I'm a gamer, period. But I think that the last 2 years, man, with like all the COVID stuff and like just really, I mean, I don't ever go anywhere anyway. But I played a lot. I've been playing a crap ton of video games. Bro.
Yeah, games are fun, bro.
They are. Play video games. Get yourself a console, man.
Yep.
So yeah, man. So one thing that I really enjoyed this past year was wrestling, man. So I'm just going to talk about some matches that I think were the best of 2021 that I think you guys need to check out. First of all, like New Japan is my favorite promotion of all time, and it's every year it's my favorite promotion. This is the first year where I really thought that there was a promotion that was better, and that's AEW. And now we do talk about AEW, right? And I do have my problems with AEW. I have my gripes with their diversity and the way they use their black wrestlers. And now I'm not gonna get into the whole Tony Khan thing right now, but if you're not aware, he had some questionable tweets towards Big Swole, who was a black wrestler. And now I just full on hate him. I can't stand him. But no. But with that said, that's why when us, right, when black people, when we talk about diversity, this is why we have to actually use the word black. Because that's what we're talking about. And if we don't use the word black, then we get people like Tony Khan saying stuff like, dude, I'm brown.
And just to add some context to that doesn't mean that only black people get to
Absolutely
participate.
not, but black people are the ones who are always not
shortchanged.
Exactly,
right.
Man.
So diversity should not mean that like, hey, we get all kind of different diverse people. It should mean that, but it shouldn't mean that you get that type of diversity at the expense of black people.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. But aside from that, man, right? Let's talk about wrestling. Some of the best matches of 2021. I'm just going to give you guys 5 matches that I really enjoyed. Number 5 is definitely going to be Kenny Omega versus Ray Phoenix. Shout out to Ray Phoenix, man.
Oh, yeah.
My guy, Ray Phoenix, had a nasty arm injury on Dynamite a couple weeks ago. He was a table spot. He was getting chokeslammed through a table off the apron, and he, looked like just completely shattered, broke his arm. It was one of the more gruesome injuries you'll see in sports.
I heard the diagnosis was dislocated elbow. It's
not broken. But I will say this, sometimes a dislocation is worse than a break, though. Yeah. It sounds better, but it can be more painful and
for sure
worse and take way longer to heal than a bone. I'm a Vikings fan. You guys all know that. I know, right? I'm a Vikings fan. A few years ago, man, Teddy Bridgewater had a horrific injury in training camp that when he was on the Vikings that nobody has ever seen. There's no videos, no pictures, but the way that it was described, bro, was this dude dislocated his knee in training camp to the point where he almost had to get his leg amputated.
Not gonna be able to do it.
Bro, I don't know how something like that happens. They said there was like blood and players were throwing up. Like, it was that gruesome. And that's not a break. That is a dislocated knee. That's what they call it. So, like I said, man, a dislocation is actually worse than a break. So, but I do hope he comes, which I think he will. I think it's going to be a long. I think he might be out for like a year, maybe longer.
I hope not, bro.
That sucks. It sucks, but yeah. So thoughts with Ray Phoenix, but anyway, back to this match from last year, Kenny Omega versus Ray Phoenix. This was like one of Kenny's first title defenses after he won the belt. And I gotta say, this is undoubtedly in the era of like empty arena matches before they were letting fans come back. This is the greatest empty arena match of all time, 100%, not even close.
Yep.
This match was nuts. Obviously, what you would expect between those two, and honestly, I think this was Kenny's best match as champion, as AEW champion. I think this was his best match.
Better than the Daniel Bryan match?
Well, no, because this was, title defense. Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
I think this was his best title defense.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. We'll get into that other match later. Number 4, man, I'm going to go with Will Ospreay versus Shingo Takagi from Wrestling Dontaku. It's a New Japan pay-per-view. Those two always have classic matches. This match was no different. It was fire. This was Ospreay's defense against Shingo. Shingo had himself a year in 2021, man. Just really dope. Unfortunately, he just lost the belt at Wrestle Kingdom to Okada. But he definitely, I think he deserves a lot of respect for being like the MVP of the pandemic, for sure. Because he was like single-handedly keeping me watching New Japan because it got a little rough there during the pandemic with all the people being out and the crowd isn't allowed to chant vocally. They have to only clap. It's terrible.
That's so whack, bro.
Yeah, it sucks. But yeah, man. Number 3, another Shingo match, Tanahashi versus Shingo from Wrestle Grand Slam. Tanahashi's like 100 years old. He still got it. Shingo, again, just ridiculous year for this guy. One of my favorite matches. Number 2, Lucha Bros versus Young Bucks from All Out cage match. You were at my house for that. Amazing. Just an incredible match between the two best tag teams on the planet. And my favorite, man, was Bloody Pentagon hugging his kids at the end.
Mm-hmm.
They were so worried about their dad, and they had that moment where he hugged them, and they got the belts. It was fire. And then my number 1, Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson. Dynamite match went to full time length. Amazing. One of my all-time favorite matches. And, like, very rarely do we get a match that's just everything clicking. Like, and when I say that, I mean sometimes you just got to let two sweet wrestlers go have a sweet match.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that AEW consistently does. No crazy, wacky storyline, no nothing corny. Just you both sweet, go have a sweet match. No chains on. Just go have a sweet match. And that's what they did, man. They let them do it. The atmosphere was nuts. The crowd was super hype. And they also did a good job of, like, they really, like, they care about wrestling fans. You know what I mean? Like, there was even, when they go to a commercial break, you can tell that they're stalling until they come back. You know what I mean? And then they kick them out. Then they start getting after it again. So it was amazing. That was my favorite match of the year and one of my favorite matches of all time.
So I'm thinking about Lucha Brothers versus Young Bucks, and so that was obviously an incredible match. And I was thinking about long story short, I'm actually wondering now if Jurassic Express was supposed to win that match.
Yeah, like if it was an audible.
Because of the injury.
So this is what I think, bro, and I think it was. And I've asked this question on Twitter, and I've seen a lot of people say no. But this is what I think. I think it was an audible, and I think the reason they did is because Phoenix broke his arm. Because just with House of Black starting, with Brody King coming in with Malachi Black, I think that was for Lucha Bros. And I think that was the next feud, Lucha Bros and House of Black. They got Pac coming back. I think Pac was going to come in and turn on the Lucha Bros, swerve them, join House of Black.
I think you mentioned that. You called that, but I think it's a done deal because I think the video, like, did you see that tweet where somebody?
I'm here for Daredevil Pac for sure.
Right, and somebody said in the video, like, the hashtag was House of Black on that video.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think it's
yeah.
done.
So I think that despite what people said, I think it was 100% audible. I think they had to because Phoenix broke his arm.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that was for. So hopefully, I mean, you know, there's things they can do. I think that I what I don't want to happen, I really hope that they don't just, like, kind of put Penta on the shelf. I hope they don't do that. I hope that what I think they should do is I think he should, like, kill it as a singles wrestler. He should win, like, the TNT title or something. When Phoenix comes back, they should do a thing where he's like, "Oh, I don't need you. I can do this by myself." Then they have a little food because If you were up on them two before they came to AEW, they done had some great feuds and some great matches in Lucha Underground and all these other promotions. So those two can definitely put on some classics with each other, man.
That's what's up.
So, boom. All right, man. Moving on. All right, let's go. Let's go 2 questions here. I want you to give me your favorite anime that you watched in 2021. Preferably one that came out in 21, but if it's just one that you checked out in 21, that's okay. And then I want you to give me one that you wanted to check out and that you really meant to check out, but you didn't get to it and that you're definitely going to watch this year.
All right, so I'll just put in a quick Google search, nigga, goddammit. Anime that came out in 2021 because I can't remember. So I caught up. I was not really into anime as much this year. I started to catch up on anime.
Okay.
Oh, that's not true. I think that the anime that I felt the most connected to this year, even though it didn't come out in this year, was probably Fire Force, because that's when I first started watching it.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Or when I gave it a real second shot and was like, okay, this anime is actually really dope. That's cheating. They got Star Wars Visions on here.
Oh, that was gonna be mine.
Okay. I mean,
it's anime.
It is anime. Okay. Well. Oh, wait. Okay. All right. So I got 3 answers now. So I'm gonna let you talk about Star Wars Visions, but that's definitely on my list. Anime that I checked out this year and it was even though it didn't come out here, was definitely Fire Force. And feeling like this is it's not one of my top 5 ever, obviously, but it's one of the ones that I'm looking for now, right? So when a new season comes out, I'm gonna be ready for it. If a new season comes out, hopefully it does. You never know these days.
Facts.
But the one that came out this year and I was blown away by was definitely Tokyo Revengers, bro. This shit was fire, dog. It was so interesting, bro. I told you I watched this by mistake because I just so happened to be up. I just woke up
late night.
Just saying, let me turn on something. Maybe I'll fall asleep, bro. I ended up staying up till 7 a.m. watching 11 episodes of this shit. I'm like, yo, this shit kind of good. What's about to happen next?
Man.
And it's just, bro, it's just the high school, middle school kids in gangs fighting. and there's a sweaty premise of 30-year-old guy is a loser and fucking goes back in time, and the girl that he likes dies in a car accident. Has to somehow goes back in time and has to stop it from happening, but he goes back into his middle school body where he was a delinquent. Okay. And has to relive his life.
I like that. That sounds interesting. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, to kind of navigate it. And it's cool, man. Is it there's every episode has a ton of fighting. Is it martial arts necessarily? Not really. These just little niggas scrapping, but there's a clear here's the niggas that can fight for real. Here's the tough guys. Here's it has some shonen structure to it where all right, they've been hyping him up, so you don't fuck with him. Right. And like Mikey, who is the guy here, their leader, is unfuckwittable, and he's got his number one guy, his big dude named Draken, who is a 6'8" 14-year-old who just be whooping ass. And he's got a dragon tattoo and a mohawk. It's ridiculous.
Right, and 10 years old.
Right. 13.
Smoking cigarettes, tats.
Right. Driving. They're all they got motorcycles and shit. It's ridiculous.
I swear anime be boosting the quality. The things, they be 10 years old and they're men. Adults.
Yeah, no. Right, exactly. Right. Yeah, they're getting away with some shit they're not supposed to be getting away with. There's one episode where he wakes up in he comes back into his body, because he kind of goes back and forth between the past and the future a couple of times. And there's one episode where he wakes up in a brothel as a 14-year-old. Bro, what the fuck you doing around here, bro? So yeah, Tokyo Revengers was dope, man. It was very, very good. Wow. And there's a lot of there's some Game of Thrones level I'm gonna fucking lie to this nigga and I'm gonna go over and scheme on this motherfucker, and then we gonna
this one.
Right, we gonna betray him, and secretly I'm on his team, but he don't know that yet. And there's some twists. They left on a hell of a cliffhanger.
Oh, word.
It was dope, man. It's very, very impressive.
I'm gonna have to check it out. So I mean, yeah, My Hero season 5 was good. They didn't get to what I had hoped they'd get to because I finished the manga. Well, I'm caught up on the manga. It's not done, but I'm caught up on the My Hero manga, and I was kind of hoping that they would get to some other things. They didn't, but it's still good. Season 2 of Demon Slayer, it's gotten started. It's just now starting to pick up, but it was amazing. It's been amazing. Animation in Demon Slayer, so good.
Top notch.
But I think honestly, man, I think the favorite anime that came out 2021. I really love Star Wars Visions, man. It's kind of cheating, but it was amazing. All the different episodes, the structure that was kind of like Animatrix a little bit. It was fire. I loved it, and I hope they do more with that. For sure,
there was at least 2 or 3 of those stories that could have been their own like series.
100%, man. Obviously my favorite was the Ronin one. Amazing, so good. But yeah, I really hope. Oh, the twins one was fire too,
bro. That final fight at the end of that one was crazy,
twins, dog. I wish I could. I don't remember the episodes off the top of my head.
Bro, did that nigga cut a Star Destroyer in half? With a lightsaber.
With a lightsaber.
With it like a super lightsaber. He like
mega ultra lightsaber.
Dog, that shit was sweet as fuck, dog. No, that shit was so cold, bro.
It was so dope. And yeah, man. And what's a show that you didn't get to check out that you're gonna try to check out this year?
I'm still not caught up on Demon Slayer, bro. I gotta watch the movie.
Oh man, you still haven't watched Mugen Train?
Because I don't know where to find it. Where is it at?
It's on Crunchyroll now.
Okay, because I was looking for it on there.
It wasn't on there before. Their structure's so weird. You have to look at the bottom, and it's got the cursors on it because you have to push a certain button to get to the other things. Because it only shows you what's like current. I don't think it shows you all the other episodes and stuff.
All right.
But yeah, Mugen Train's fire.
Yeah, so that's really the next one. I'm kind of caught up. I got caught up with My Hero. I'm feeling it. I'm liking the direction that they're going. I kind of liked. I wasn't a huge fan of Shigaraki at first.
Hold on, going back to these change one word of a superhero. This dude said can't, man.
Nope.
No.
That's his special power.
It's like a superhero with like a man.
Not gonna be able to do it.
Hey, we need some help. There's a building on fire.
Not gonna be able to do it.
There's been a robbery on 42nd Street.
No.
I'm good. Can't help you. That's funny.
Look, Mom, it's Can't Man.
Not gonna be able to do it.
Whatever.
That is hilarious.
What was I talking about?
A show that you're gonna try to check out.
Oh, right. I liked the way. I wasn't a huge fan of Shigaraki, and I liked how we've kind of fleshed him out some. He looks like a formidable big bad now. I like the fact that we're kind of unlocking some of Deku's kind of hidden powers. That part's cool.
Yeah, man.
So yes, it's definitely
the Human Porch.
We're gonna have to do that thread in the Discord. I'm gonna bring that picture into here.
So funny.
So yeah, that's real. It's gonna be Demon Slayer. It's gonna be the next one that I catch up with.
Bang. So a show that I want to check out that I haven't seen. I've been seeing everybody talk about this anime. I have not seen it. But there's not another show that I see more people talking about that they're bigging it up too, and that's Ranking of Kings.
Really? I never even heard of it.
So look at it's just all I see is just a little boy. It's like a little young kid. He looks like a toddler. But people have been like really praising this anime, man. So I'm definitely gonna check out Ranking of Kings. I have not watched it. I don't know anything about it. I've seen people talk about the animation style is really good, and they say that this is a really top show. So I'm gonna check out Ranking of Kings.
It looked trash to me.
It does. It does.
It looked weak. It looks like something I would never.
It looks like something I would never check out. So I'm gonna watch it so I can see what the hype is about.
Then again, I said the same thing about Fire Force.
You did. You said he had shark teeth.
He did, and I had to apologize publicly.
The shark teeth had a reason and a backstory.
Yep. It was a good reason.
It was good. It was
it was like, oh man, like I fuck with you more now because of that.
It's just nervous.
Yeah, you're just like smile. Super awkward. Okay, I get that. I understand.
Facts, man. So All right, man. So for time constraints, because
Yep.
we got some time constraints today, we are going to get into our top 5 of the day, and we're going to continue to kind of get into some things we enjoyed in the year 2021. Hero top 5 favorite films of 2021. There's a lot of good movies that came out in 21.
Yeah, I fucking had this written down. It's
I
somewhere.
can go first. if
Yeah,
you
go
want
ahead,
to.
go
Okay.
ahead.
Oh wow, let's go. I'm gonna lead the top 5 of the day this time. Before I get into my list, I said in the Discord, man, this was like a GOAT year for kid movies. Like,
Facts.
I went to the movie so many times with my family. There's a ton of great kid movies that came out. So before we get into this top 5 favorite films of the year, I'm going to go with some honorable mentions real quick because I have a lot. Because there were a lot of good movies that came out this year. My first honorable mention, My Hero Academia, World Heroes Mission. That movie was fire. Saw it in theaters. It was great. Luca. Luca was a Disney movie that came out about the boys and their like sea monsters. That movie was really good. I saw that with my kids. I know this is gonna shock a lot of people, but Spider-Man: No Way Home is an honorable mention. I liked it. I didn't love it as much as some other people did. Man, I thought it was good, but it didn't make my top 5 for the year. Dune. I loved Dune, man. I'm excited to see. I really love that movie, but I just know for a fact that it's not gonna be my favorite because of how much of a like origin it was.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like I already know that the next one is gonna probably be amazing.
Oh,
And
my
you know
God.
what? I know
Can't
you're not a
wait.
big Lord of the Rings guy, but this first Dune movie really reminded me of the first Lord of the Rings.
I can see
movie.
that.
Because Fellowship of the Ring is like the build up. It gets good at the end, action at the end, and then it just kind of goes off.
Yep.
And then Two Towers, the second one, which is one of my all-time favorite movies, is like a lot of battles and a lot of action in that one. So this setup kind of really reminds me of the first Lord of the Rings movie, which is a classic. But yeah, man. And then my last honorable mention, another movie that I almost put on my list, Paper Tigers. Did you see Paper Tigers?
I did
You
start watching
have
it.
to
I started
watch
watching
this
it.
movie.
It's funny.
Paper Tigers.
That kid from that be on Instagram
he's
is on
in the
there.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, he's dope.
Paper Tigers is awesome. It's it's this movie about these guys that were like they trained under this master when they were growing up, and they were legit kung fu students. And then they grow up and they all stop. They all stop training. There's one who starts doing MMA and jiu-jitsu, forgets all his kung fu. Then there's the one guy who's like old. He got into the medicine, seafood, taught him the medicine and the
That's
healing.
the Chinese dude, right?
Yep. And then there's the guy who was the best one out of all of them, and he stopped training. He kind of, he gets crappy. He's kind of a crappy dad. You know what I'm saying? And then basically what happens is their master, their Sifu, gets murdered, and they have to find out what happened. So they kind of come back together to figure out what happened. I've never really seen a movie like this before. It's like a legit comedy, but there's legit martial arts in it. You know what I mean? It's hilarious, and the martial arts are sweet too. So you guys gotta check that out. Paper Tigers, I think it's on Netflix. But let's get into this top 5 real quick. Coming in at number 5, man, I'm going with Snake Eyes. I loved the movie actually. I hated Snake Eyes, but Andrew Koji as Storm Shadow was awesome. And I really wish that the movie would have been called Storm Shadow. Because if this movie was called Storm Shadow and not Snake Eyes, this is one of my favorite movies ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
The movie, it was just the way that they went with the Snake Eyes character didn't make any sense to me. He was a complete irredeemable jerk.
Bro, he was so annoying. Dog.
And Storm Shadow had every right to hate him. So
Yep.
I think if they just called this movie Storm Shadow, it's one of the best movies ever to me. Coming in at number 4, a movie we just talked about, man, I'm going to go with Demon Slayer, Mugen Train. I'm not going to talk too much about it because you haven't seen it, but Kyojuro Rengoku, one of my favorite anime characters of all time. Just is my favorite Demon Slayer character. You got to watch this movie to see why. Coming in at number 3, I'm going to go with a movie that my family has seen 6 million times, My daughter's obsessed with it. This was like every year my kids are into something like huge that their Christmas is kind of based off of. You know what I'm saying? Like all the stuff they get. Like my son last year was G.I. Joe's. This year is Transformers. My daughter's obsessed with this movie and these characters, and that's Encanto, man.
Okay.
Encanto is gonna be my number 3. Encanto, I think, as I said, amazing, bro. This is legit one of the best, greatest Disney movies ever. One of the greatest soundtracks of all time.
I've heard, man.
These songs in this movie are so good, and the story is great. It's basically this family. I want to say they're like
Colombian.
Is that what it is? Colombian, yeah. And it's this family, and they have this the abuela, the grandma. She basically got inherited this gift, and they're basically this magical family. They have like a magic house, and everyone gets a gift. And whenever there's someone born into the family, they on one of their birthdays, they go and they receive their gift from the house. So like she's got the main character, Mita Bell. She has a sister that's got super strength,
right?
And
I saw her in the trailer.
And she's got a sister that's like this perfect, beautiful sister, and she like can just make flowers grow. You know what I'm saying? And then she's got a aunt who the weather is. She dictates the weather with how she's feeling, you know what I'm saying? So when she's like
storm,
you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then Antonio is my favorite. He's a little boy. He can talk to animals. He can understand what animals are saying. And they all use their gift to help out the people in the village that they live in. So it's a great movie. Just a really good movie. Amazing, good characters. And like I said, this is one of the best Disney like soundtracks of all time.
Wait, hold on. Before you go, gun to your head, because I've saw this debate going around: Coco or Encanto.
That's. I have to pick Encanto just because of how much my daughter loves it.
Boom.
She likes Coco too, but the Encanto's like her favorite movie, so I gotta pick Encanto.
There you go.
I'm taking the easy way out. I'm going with what my kids like.
Also, it's black, bro. Hella black Latin folks.
Man. It's so good. I love it.
Yep.
And number 2, this was, like I said, this was a year for the kids, man. My number 2 is gonna be Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, I forgot that came out this year or this past year.
It did. It came out early this past year, and this is my legit favorite Disney movie. Like for a long time, Mulan was my number 1, but Raya and the Last Dragon is just, it's such a dope movie, man. And you know what? Shout out. This is like Disney is beginning to get away from the princess who is like relevant because there's some guy in the story. Like we're starting to see these women characters with no man like being involved. You know what I'm saying? And like that was Raya and the Last Dragon. That was Mita Bell from Encanto. Like we're starting to see that these strong female, and Raya is she's a goon, man. Like she's a really dope character. Like I would straight up want to see like a live action like Raya movie, because it's some nice little martial arts in that movie too. So Raya and the Last Dragon number 2. My number 1, y'all know what number 1 is. Come on, man. Shang-Chi, favorite Marvel movie.
Can't beat that.
The one movie this year that I had super high expectations for, and it didn't let me down at all. Every movie I really was anticipating, it like kind of didn't meet my expectations. Mortal Kombat was like that. Snake Eyes was like that. This movie, I had high expectations, and it delivered. Favorite Marvel movie of all time, Shang-Chi number 1. Boom. That's the list. Number 5, Snake Eyes. Number 4, Demon Slayer Mugen Train. Which it came out in Japan in 2020, but it came out in U.S. in 2021. Number 3, Encanto. Number 2, Raya and the Last Dragon. Number 1, Shang-Chi, man. Shang-Chi. And one more honorable mention, Sing 2. We just saw Sing 2, and that movie was fire. Again,
okay.
Another amazing kid movie. So that's my top 5, man. What you got?
All right, bro. Had to do some research, but I got a couple honorable mentions. Spider-Man No Way Home is on my honorable mentions as well. And not that I didn't love it. I thought it was great. I just hate, and we talked about this before, I hate the way that movies are covered these days, because anybody who's been paying any attention knew what was going to happen, whether it was spoiled or not.
Yeah, and you said that, and you were right, because I think what you said was like, it becomes this thing where the way that they cover these movies before they come out, where it's like when they give you the big thing, you were expecting it, so it's like props instead of being surprised by it.
It's
You know
like
what I'm
way to
saying?
not fumble as opposed to holy crap, I never would have imagined that was gonna happen.
You know what I mean?
Which is why, bro, like this is all the more reason why I'm like off. I don't really care about movie
Trailers,
reporting.
bro.
I'm off trailers, I'm off
Facts.
like updates. I'm interested in the casting and that's it.
That's all. Yeah, like the Moon Knight trailer that just dropped.
I haven't watched it.
I didn't watch
Yep.
it, and I'm not going to watch
Not gonna
it.
watch it. Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
I'm off it, bro. I don't want any movie reporting because y'all are. I don't know if they're too good at the job or if it's like y'all are like reporting for like clicks and for scoops and that
And y'all-
ruins the
and they
experience.
just- yeah.
For the viewer, like I don't care about that.
And look, man, why before I let you continue, we gotta stop. Like, I don't like y'all don't understand that you just. I hate getting on some form of social media. Like you just saying how you felt about something that just came out. That's a spoiler.
Yeah, it can be.
Because you can. What happens is like you subconsciously will go into watching said thing with those preconceived feelings that somebody else had. Like, so if something came out an hour ago, right, and you're already saying how you felt about the Boba Fett episode, right, and you're like, oh man, that was trash. That was the worst episode so far. Now I'm gonna go into that episode, you know what I mean, that just came out an hour ago. You know what I'm saying? And whether I want to or not, I'm gonna subconsciously kind of be like, oh man, I hope this episode's good.
Right, hope it doesn't suck.
It was trash. You know what I mean? Like it's.
I know exactly what you mean, dog. That's why in our Discord, I've made the rules very clear. Like the things that you can say during the
safe period,
during the moratorium is: did you see the movie? Did you like it? Period.
Right.
Yes or no. I mean, that's literally that. I don't go into details about why you liked it or what you did or didn't like. You can say yes, I saw it and it was good.
And it was good, or I saw it and I didn't like it.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's fine. Yep. So with that in mind, I felt that my viewing experience was unfortunately impacted by the fact that we kind of all were expecting the triple Spider-Man stuff. We were expecting that.
Yep.
And I'm glad that it happened because I think it would have been disappointing if it didn't happen. But again, that's only because we kind of already knew that it was, which is annoying. So my next honorable mention is Judas and the Black Messiah, for obvious reasons.
I couldn't.
Yeah, it was tough, right?
Couldn't do it, bro. I can't even watch the movie.
Yeah, it's tough. It was, but in terms of like a powerful story, well acted by some dope black actors, it was very good. But like, man, it just kind of makes you. It's just a really interesting look at how the Black Panther movement was so provocative. And I don't even like using the word provocative. It was so like impactful that the lengths that the government went to stop it were just despicable. All right. So into my top 5, a sleeper, super sleeper. You might not have even ever heard of this movie, bro. I know Josh has talked about this movie and I really like it as well, but I'm going to go with The Green Knight. Have you heard of this?
I did, and it looked sweet. I wanted to see it. I didn't see it, but I was interested when I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah, it was mad interesting.
They showed.
bro.
I want to say they showed a trailer for it during Shang-Chi.
They might have.
Yeah.
It was an artsy fartsy movie for sure, no question. But it was good. I liked it. It was the story of, it takes place in, even though they don't explicitly say it, it takes place in like the round table of the Knights of the Round Table. I'm into, I don't particularly care about like medieval stories, but one of the ones that I do fuck with is the King Arthur story. I think that there's some cool lore there, and it kind of is peripherally related to that story. And it's just it's a short story from the King Arthur's tale that was turned into like a big movie. Really well done. It's hard to really explain. And I'll just say the way that it ended had me like, wait, what the fuck?
So in the movie though, are they like acknowledging these characters as Arthur?
No, they don't they don't acknowledge him as King Arthur, but it's very obvious that that's who it's supposed to be.
Is Lancelot black?
No.
I've always heard that he was black.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You already know I'm here for that. But the ending of this movie had me scratching my head until the very last second, and then I was like, oh, okay, I fuck with it. It was a very interesting ride. I'll give you that. So shout out to the Green Knight if you like artsy fartsy films. Number 4, Suicide Squad, bro. Fire.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but heard it was good.
It was. I mean, James Gunn being a crazy person. It was leaps and bounds better than the first Suicide Squad movie. It's good. It might be. It's not. I don't know if it's my favorite DC property that's out. But it's up there. I think it's between that, Aquaman, and the Snyder Cut. Bro, Aquaman was sweet as hell. I don't care what nobody says. That movie was fucking dope, bro. Shout out to Aquaman. All right, bro. Look, man. Number 3. I don't care what nobody say, bro. Matrix fucking Revolution or Matrix Resurrections. Dog.
Okay.
Look, man. That movie was good. I don't care. Look. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
What do you want? You want the first one all over again? No,
yes.
You're not gonna get that.
Yes, and then look, was it my favorite? No.
But it was maybe my second favorite, potentially.
It was probably the first one's obviously my favorite. Second one was my second favorite. I would put it in the same tier as the third one. I didn't think it was terrible. And my thing is, like, if they would have just gave us, people wanted Agent Smith. They wanted a copy and paste of the original movies. But if they would have done that, people would have hated it, and they would have said, "Why did they?" You know what I mean? So
it worked for me, man. It worked. It was more of a cerebral movie than the other 2 sequels were. It was closer in the mind space to the first movie. Although you're never gonna hit a home run like that again, but it was closer to doing that kind of like psychological experimentation and like meta commentary than the first one was. And it worked for me, bro. I thought it was good. I think that for me, the way that I would rank them, the second movie is much better than I remember. I go back, when I watched them recently, I was like, okay, I get it. Like this movie was not quite as far of a drop off as I remember, but I would say that this movie, I don't know if it's better than the second one, but I would say it's definitely in the same tier. I think it's easily better than the third one. I still thought the third one wasn't very good, and I think
the third one was kind of
Dragon Ball Z, kind of hey whatever. Let's just fucking throw everything together at the end. But I liked it, bro. I thought that the narrative swings that they took, they worked for me, bro. Like it was a clever way to kind of reload this bitch, right? Like. Mm-hmm. You want while also like making fun of Warner Brothers or whoever the publisher was for dragging the corpse of this movie back up again. And right. All right, fine.
Yeah, it was. And they also they did, and they poked fun at people for that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think a lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people didn't like the meta, but I thought it was, for me as a person who like has always been critical of that type of like toxic fandom. I thought it worked for me, bro. Like, yeah, like those niggas are corny. We should make fun of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, point a finger and laugh. These greedy studios are also greedy and like don't put the art before the money, and we should make fun of them too. Like it worked. It worked for me. And they still told a good story with like plenty of stuff to build off of in the meantime. Like usually if you take a swing like that, you're sacrificing the storytelling to make your point. But I don't think they did that. I think they did both, which is like, the more I'm talking about it, the more I'm liking it, bro. Like they did a really hard thing, and I think they did it well. And Keanu was damn near 60 now. He still had tech left, and he was looking good out there.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Matrix 4. I liked it, man. Whoops, wrong one. And then my number 2, dog. I cannot wait to finish the book and like get all deep into the universe. Although I got a little bit of a spoiler from talking to my cousin about it. It's a little bit of it's a spoiler that I kind of saw coming, and I still don't know like what it means yet.
Oh, you're talking about Doom.
I am talking about Dune as my number 2.
Boom. So how what's the book situation look like? Like, is it?
There's There are a lot of books, but there's not, in terms of like the story of Paul Atreides, I think there's only like 2 or 3 books, but then there's more that tell that same story from like different perspectives.
And what about so there is a movie that came out right in the 80s.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
I saw parts of it and it was trash.
But does it
Does it go any further?
Is it good trash or is it bad trash?
It's
Let's be careful here. Is it like corny 80s?
It's super corny 80s for sure, which is not all immediately bad.
Right.
I don't know. I didn't watch it all the way through, so I can't really judge it.
And does it tell, I guess, is it telling the same like time frame as the movie that just came out, or is it like different?
I think it tells, I don't know if it goes any further, but it definitely should, because I saw so Patrick Stewart is in it. He plays
oh wow, I didn't know that.
He plays the same character that Josh Brolin played, whose name I can't remember. Not Duncan Idaho. He plays
what a weird name for a beast of a warrior.
The other guy who's like the quartermaster and was training Paul Atreides, he plays him. Okay. And so they showed the scene where they were like sparring against each other. That scene is in the 80s movie, and it looks awful, bro. It looks so fucking trash, bro. They're wearing like, you know, they got their like personal shields, but they didn't have the technology to make it look good in 1980. So they just got like Nintendo 64 polygons like sticking to them. And they're digital, but they're like really shittily done. Okay. It looks awful.
This sounds like a movie I have to watch.
But like in terms of like sweaty, huge open world science fiction worlds, I think Dune is great, and I can't wait to really dig deep into it. It reminds me, obviously, there's a Star Wars. The fact that Star Wars was heavily influenced by it. There's another show / book that I was reading called Foundation that was that inspired Dune. So like these big like fantasy sci-fi space operas, bro, like I'm totally here for all of them.
Yeah, me too, man. Hey, man, look, Sing 2, bro. The show they put on at the end is a space opera, dog.
Really?
Yes, and it's fire.
Interesting.
It's fire.
All right, bro. And then my number 1, obviously, same as you.
Let's get it.
Shang-Chi is the shit.
It is, man. Oh, man. That bus fight scene.
And the scaffolding scene.
Yes, sir.
All of them. The final fight at the end. All of it.
You know what? I haven't watched Shang-Chi in a minute. I'm going to watch it tonight.
Boom. There it is.
Boom. All right, man. Episode 102. That's our little quick end of the year recap. Next week, when we drop the next episode, we're back. We're back for real now. So
boom.
Back on schedule every Tuesday. We will be dropping more episodes. Shout out to everybody that listens and watches. Shout out to the Discord. Make sure y'all go listen to my project. Book changes out right now. Okay, got another video coming out soon. Got another video coming out after that. And then it's on to the next project that I'm working on, man. Got a lot of features coming out. Y'all make sure y'all follow us, man, on all the social media and all that. And we will get into some Boba Fett stuff next week. And we appreciate y'all listening, man. Shout out to the Discord. Peace.